To see my exclusive content, become a member of this channel, join my Patreon, or visit chrissyonline.com. And be sure to join the mailing list for updates on future videos. The links are in the description box. Please like, share, and subscribe, and thanks for watching. Hello. Good evening. Thank you for joining me. Let me know if you guys can hear me by pressing 1 in the chat room. Hello. Yeah, somebody said it is Gemini season. You know, I feel it. Y'all know I have a very mercurial chart, mercurial, however you say it. Lots of Gemini placements, and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling very creative. There's some more content coming up this week. And I said, let me go ahead and do this one. Hey, everybody. Hey. So here we go. I know I said I wasn't going to do another response to the psychoticals, but I noticed that some of the unambiguous dark-skinned Black women who follow those pages and never watched my channel, they were just kind of going off of what those pages were saying about me, are now coming over here to listen to my content in my last few recent videos. So I had to seize the moment. And also, I told you ladies on my community tab that I was going to share strategies with you on how to navigate the attacks that Black women are going to increasingly face as we get more visibility online and in the media. And part of that is being able to recognize the covert colorism and gaslighting coming from people who don't want to see Black women elevate, and specifically dark-skinned Black women. Yeah, this is part 2. And after listening to what I'm going to say in this live stream, you'll be able to see the manipulation tactics that they use in pretty much all of their videos. The tactics I'll be discussing here, they can be found in most of their content, specifically about unambiguous dark-skinned Black women. So if anyone ever comes to my channel and wants me to speak on their sector again, or wants me to respond to a video they made, I am going to direct them to this video. And after I get done, I'm going to create timestamps for each manipulation tactic that I'll be covering. And I'm doing this specifically for the younger, impressionable, unambiguous dark-skinned women who may really be confused when they come across the exotical content, because I read a lot of comments from you ladies under the last couple videos. And some of you said you started off actually liking the exotical content, but you had to unsubscribe after you realized how sinister and biased most of them are towards unambiguous dark-skinned women. And when I see those kind of comments, to me, ladies, and I hate to say this, but it's no different from Black women, and especially dark-skinned Black women, falling for Black men who pander to them. And, you know, those men get your money, they get your social currency, or they get social currency from you. And then later on, you're scrambling trying to cancel them after they say something colorist or misogynistic about Black women. But by then it's too late, right? And the thing about it is, it's not that they, you know, were hiding it sometimes. They were probably showing you signs of being that way the whole time. Right? Yeah, this video is going to stay up. Yeah, and so, unfortunately, you guys, some of you, especially the younger, more impressionable ones, you're not picking up on this. So that's what I'm going to break down in this video. And I've talked about this as it pertains to Black men ad nauseum on my channel, right? So I think because of those videos, and, you know, other women on this platform making videos, I think many Black women have waken up to the manipulation coming from Black men, right? We don't as easily fall for the pandering from them anymore. We don't as easily fall for the manipulation. But I notice that many of you are still having a very hard time noticing those same manipulation tactics coming from other women because they are women, right? And in this case, mixed race women, exoticals, whatever they want to call themselves, right? And so we're going to go over some of the ways they manipulate dark skinned Black women on their channels today. So, and I'm doing this so you can immediately know what you're looking at and listening to when you come across it next time. And I heard one of the psychoticals say that I quote unquote fell for her psychological trap. And she, I guess she set a trap for me to respond to them. But ladies, that is a manipulation tactic in itself, because my last video didn't lead to any significant growth for her channel. I didn't mention names, which they hate, but like I said, I don't give out free promotion, right? And when I black out names and I don't mention names, it works because y'all don't know where to go for the most part. Okay, so they didn't see any significant growth, at least at this point in time. But them claiming I quote unquote fell in their trap is just a reverse psychology tactic to make them seem smarter and more strategic than they actually are to their dumb followers. Okay, and it's also a silencing tactic because look, they don't really want me to keep saying stuff about them. They really don't. Deep down, they don't want that. We're gonna cover that tactic a little bit later on. But they don't like being challenged, you guys. They don't like being exposed. And this is actually working in my favor because not only are their channels still struggling for subscribers and views, but the algorithm is now recommending my videos about them and their manipulation tactics that they're using on dark-skinned women under their videos. So that's why I was like, okay, let me come back on here because yeah, we're going to really break this down, and definitely go watch my last couple videos, especially the one about the manipulations they use on dark-skinned Black women. Definitely go watch that after this live stream. If you haven't already, it's a couple of live streams down. Go watch the last live stream where I exposed my exotical stalkers. We won't be covering that in this video. We're just strictly going to be talking about these manipulation tactics. But I'm very happy that I was able to reach and convert some of their unambiguous dark-skinned woman followers. Because unfortunately, there are dark-skinned women who follow those channels thinking that they're beneficial to them. And so I want to help more of them see the manipulation and the gaslighting for what it is. So that is why in this video, I'm using their sector name in my title. I want this video to be seen by their followers. Specifically, the unambiguous dark-skinned woman followers. And see, they think I don't want their platforms to exist, but I'm actually fine with that. Do your thing. But when you grow your channel bullying and stalking me and stealing my content and manipulating dark-skinned women, that's when I have to step in and say something. And dark-skinned women, listen. You need to understand what this is really about. At the core, you need to understand what this is about when it comes to exoticals. Like I recently wrote on my community tab, this is psychological warfare. One of you guys said that in under one of the last live streams. Dark-skinned women, we're changing our mindset. We're leveling up. We're raising our standards in men. We are centering our image. We're dating out. We're no longer obsessing over colorist Black men. And even though it's a minority of us over here, they don't want the word getting out to other dark-skinned women, because if more of us start to operate this way, that is less attention from them. That's less support from them and Black men as well, right? That's why I get the most attacks on my platform, because it's the most threatening, right? Because instead of living vicariously through them or chasing them down, and worried about them and their preferences, or promoting, mixed race women or exotical women to represent us, we're promoting ourselves. That is threatening for some of the exoticals, which is why they have created this sector on YouTube. It's all about competition. They're not going to say that. They will never admit to anything I just said. Instead, they're just going to use their platforms to gaslight, manipulate, and deflect. So we're going to go over some of what the exoticals said in their responses to me. We're going to highlight the manipulation that's taking place in their sector. And I just want to prepare you for what's going to happen next, okay? Because these girls, they're, I'm not going to say they're smart, because they're kind of dumb, but they really take advantage of the naivete and stupidity of some Black women, and especially younger Black women. So they've learned how to, rephrase stuff, and they've learned how to really do this whole covert colorism thing. And it's working on some of you. So we're going to break that down. And I just want to prepare you. The Exoticals, what they're going to do is they're going to copy everything I stated in this live stream, because they're copycats. You know, they copy. They're going to copy everything I did in this live stream, and they're going to flip it on me and other dark-skinned women to try to win the argument. So just be prepared for that. You shouldn't be watching their channels anyway. But if you do, that is what they're going to do. So I'm just letting you know, we know what they're going to do. They're pretty predictable at this point, right? And I know some black women also do some of the things I will be mentioning here. But because they keep trying to convince us that they're not doing it, the Exoticals, we got to go over this because they're lying. Let me see this super chat before I get in. Miss L says, Gen Z here. Thank you so much, Chrissy. Your videos have given me and my sisters, one who is dark skinned and one who is biracial, a lot about representation and colorism. Thank you. Coffee-tastic, I can't. She said they turned into just curly things. I'm done with you. Y'all be making up some good terms. That is so good. Thank you, Toffee-tastic. Yeah, that is a good comparison, though, actually. That's a really good comparison. Okay, so the first thing they did recently, when it comes to me, they downplayed the abuse towards dark-skinned women. And the psychological term for this is called minimization. And the Exoticals do this a lot, okay? And I just grabbed a couple, pictures from Google. If you guys can think of some better terms for this, by all means, put them in the comments, put them in the chat. This is just the terms that I thought of on top of my head. But yeah, the Exoticals do this a lot. So in my last live stream, make sure you guys go listen to that, where I expose my Exotical stalkers. I played the clip of that vile colorist Manosphere Nixel that one of the Exoticals were laughing at. And her response to that is she was laughing at quote unquote satire, right? She also claims that she did not know he threatened to unalive me. But let me tell you guys something. That man's entire channel was full of black women getting unalived. And that's why it got deleted. He would tag me and other content creators, black woman content creators, in those videos. Like he had this sick fetish of black women being unalived. There's no way you could miss that about his channel. So even if she didn't hear that, he said that he wanted to unalive me, she saw what his channel was about. But of course she's leaving that part out, right? That man is sick. And she was aware of what he was doing and she thought it was funny. Why? Because she is sick too. And in her response, she said that she never said that she was an angel, but in the past, she frequently bragged to her audience about how the Exoticals don't have to talk about dark-skinned women's looks, like we talk about the looks of light-skinned women. And she frequently used that talking point to neutralize and manipulate unambiguous dark-skinned women into thinking that she does not support the degradation of dark-skinned black women or black women in general, when she did in the past. And again, nothing's wrong with changing. Like, if you change, just say that you changed. But don't say you've never done something when you obviously did and we saw that you did. Because as you saw in my receipts, that was a lie. She did used to do those things. And so now she's switching her talking points. And it's like, oh, well, I'm allowed to laugh at satire. I'm sorry, what is satirical about a black man making fun of black women getting unalived on his whole channel? And spewing out all of these disgusting colorist slurs against black women. What is satirical about that? What is funny about that? That's not funny. And she's like, oh, well, I have a dark sense of humor. And I didn't know that he threatened to unalive you. Again, it was there all over his channel. But this is her attempt to downplay her condoning the abuse and the femicide of black women, which is another way to manipulate and keep her unambiguous dark-skinned woman followers neutralized, because they are helping to grow her channel. And FYI, let's just get this out of the way as well. Me bringing up her supporting that man stalking me and, threatening to unalive me, and me bringing up her stalking me, That isn't me looking for sympathy from the Exoticals. The point of that live stream was to prove that the Exotical chicks are stalking me and they aren't as innocent as they claim to be. Now she's saying, oh, well, we never claimed to be innocent. But before you were talking kind of like you were, like you've never done anything to harm Black women when you have. And I successfully proved that, which is why you're now trying to downplay what you did. And this particular Exotical stalker, she's also taken down several live streams that she's done in the past where she's fully supported colorist Black men and centered men in general. But now that she's rebranded into a decenter men sector or a platform, of course she can't leave those up. But she keeps bringing up how I took my videos down when all of her videos aren't up either. But she's not telling her audience that. So it's more hypocrisy and manipulation. Okay. And something else they do is they make false equivalencies. For example, me making a video pointing out that a light-skinned woman or a mixed woman got done dirty by a colorist Black male, that is not the same as me laughing at a Black man who threatened to unalive me or who thinks Black women being unalived is funny. And if I was ever co-signing that, if I was ever caught co-signing a Black man threatening to unalive a mixed race woman and calling her all kinds of animalistic names, I would be canceled. I would be canceled several times over. So, let's not try to minimize that and act like that was nothing. And let's not try to equalize those two things because you've never seen me do that. And see, now they're trying to like make up things that I said in the past. And they're like, oh, well, if you didn't say that, then put your videos back up. Look, if you had a clip of me calling Beyonce or calling that colorist woman a ghetto Beyonce Barbie, then surely you took a clip of me making fun of a light-skinned woman or a mixed woman being unalive, because surely that's more important to you. So if you had the first clip, then you should have that one as well. You don't have that one because it does not exist. So see, the Exoticals know when they look bad and they don't want to take the L. So now they're like, oh, well, she laughs at mixed women being unalived. No, I never have done that. So again, the lies and manipulation because you don't want to hold your L. So another way the Exotical sector manipulates is they show fake support for unambiguous dark-skinned Black women. And this is where the pandering comes in. I notice a lot on the Exotical channels, they put up this facade of support for unambiguous dark-skinned Black women when they don't actually support us at all. And they do this by mixing the truth in with their colorism. For example, they'll make a bunch of videos about our self-hate, and in the video they'll say, oh, you guys should be embracing your natural beauty because it's so gorgeous and it's beautiful. But in the majority of the video, the rest of the video, they're very condescendingly mocking you for trying to look like an Exotical. And then in other videos, they're indirectly encouraging you and dark-skinned women in general to bleach their skin. I've seen that on an Exotical channel. And simultaneously mocking dark-skinned women who bleach their skin, but still kind of saying, oh, well, I support it. They'll say things like, oh, well, I don't necessarily condone it, but it's like a very low-key support of that kind of stuff. And so what is empowering or encouraging about that? Any dark-skinned woman who walks away from that feeling empowered is probably because you have low self-esteem. And I encourage you to work on that. And something else they do, I noticed they harp on quote-unquote exotic dark-skinned women. And they do this. Let me tell you why they do this, y'all. Listen very carefully. They do that to make dark-skinned women think they are more inclusive than they are. Why? Because they know these delusional, self-hating, unambiguous, dark-skinned Black women will latch on and co-sign and identify with them, even though they don't actually meet the standard for the platform. Oh, I got a little curl. I got a little loose curl. to my hair. So I'm an exotical too. Me too. I have privilege too. I'm a pretty girl too. That's what they're banking on. And a lot of y'all are doing that, right? They're trying to recruit more people so they can get their numbers up. And also to say, see, we're not divisive over here, right? We include dark-skinned women. We're not divisive over here. And we include the pretty dark-skinned women. Those other platforms over there, they're for the ugly dark-skinned women. Do you see the manipulation they're doing? Right? And something else they do, they also weaponize the unambiguous dark-skinned women who deny colorism. And I've talked about this in the past. The dark-skinned women who say they never experienced it. And that's fine. You know, if you haven't experienced, you just haven't. But they weaponize those women against the women over here who speak out about it, or who dare to have a platform exclusively for dark-skinned women. And we know that those dark-skinned women are just being used as pawns for the agenda, for their agenda. That is what's going on. They're being used for the exotical agenda. And we know that those dark-skinned women, they want colorist approval. They want to be special snowflakes. And they think that by latching themselves to the exoticals, they think that will make themselves look better, right? They think that will make them appear to be unbothered about colorism, and they'll benefit somehow from that when they actually don't. Because I'm still trying to figure out what they're getting from that. I'm still trying to figure that out. What reward do they get from that? Besides a little pat on the head from the exoticals. Oh, you're a good little token. You're not like those other insecure, ugly, dark-skinned women over there. I mean, that's all you get. You get a little pat on the head. And ladies, let me tell you something. It's okay if you want to appear unbothered by colorism, the best way to do that is to actually be unbothered by it. The best way to do that is just not to say anything about colorism at all. On both sides. Saying you don't care about it, but then supporting colorism platforms for mixed women, babe, it makes you look the opposite of unbothered. It just makes you look like you're overcompensating and you're trying to prove that you're not insecure, which actually reeks of insecurity and low confidence. Prove you're not insecure to a colorist person for what? What do you need their validation for? That's wild. And something else they do is they frequently tell their following that they're allowed to undermine unambiguous dark-skinned women and take advantage of, the inferiority complex that many of us have. And which I've always said, they're going to take it. Who's going to let go of their privilege if they have it? I told you guys this a million times. And it's so funny because when I said that, it was a problem, but now they're saying the same thing. But they encourage their followers to keep benefiting from the attention and the favoritism in the Black community. And so if they do that, then it begs the question, do they really want you to love yourself? If they're simultaneously telling exoticals, hey, take advantage. Use the community for all it's worth. Suck them dry. Undermine those women. They don't care about you, so undermine them. So then do you really want us to love ourselves then? And see, I don't think that these colorist channels, these exoticals, I don't think they actually want unambiguous dark-skinned women to prioritize our image or stop supporting women who look like them, because then by default that means little to no support for them as well. So at this point, the only reason they will be making videos about how much you hate yourself and how much you try to be them is to mock you, not so that they can actually stop, or dark-skinned women can actually stop trying to be like them. Does that make sense? Because remember, they're teaching exoticals to get their exotical tax, quote unquote. And part of that is receiving the pedestal that they get from us. Not to say that, we are the only people who give them a pedestal. But we do, right? And their exotical tax comes from undermining unambiguous dark-skinned women. So again, who would want that to stop? So think about the agenda here. When they're making videos, it's not to get you to love yourself. It's to mock you because they don't want you to actually love yourself. They want you to keep placing them on a pedestal so they can get their exotical tax. So ladies, just remember that every time you click on one of their videos, you are supporting the agenda. I know you're going to say, oh, well, Chrissy, you watch the videos. Yeah, for research purposes. So I can do this for you. And also to keep tabs because these whores are stalking me. But I don't click on all of them. I just click on the actual stalker videos. But yeah, this is what you're supporting. And look, I'm not sure if these spaces for mixed women, these exoticals, I'm not sure if they'll take off on YouTube. But, they just might. Because everyone empathizes more with light-skinned women and mixed women. And they're increasingly empathizing with the quote-unquote pretty girl plight, right? Unambiguous dark-skinned women, we were starting to get a little too much attention. So, of course, the mixed women want the spotlight. And the thing is, they still have the spotlight. But they want the spotlight that they feel that they lost back. Even though they didn't actually lose the spotlight. They just had to share some of it a little bit with unambiguous dark-skinned women. They don't want to share. So that's why the exoticals were created. So maybe their colorism, it will go mainstream. And if it does, that most likely means that a critical mass of black women co-signed it. Because you're the reason why their channels are even their channels are struggling, but I guarantee you it's mostly unambiguous black women who are watching them. So if they go viral like they say they're going to go viral, it's going to be because of you, black women. I'm just letting you know that. Just don't say, I didn't try to warn you when you try to turn around and cancel them. Just don't say nobody warned you, because I did. I came up on here and try to put you on game. So the next thing they do is they pretend not to be competitive with unambiguous dark-skinned women. And I talked about this in my video about the manipulation tactics that are being used against dark-skinned women. So I won't repeat everything I said in that video. But humans are competitive, you guys. That is a natural quality to us. That's something that's never going to go away. But I noticed that the exoticals specifically like to pretend that it's just black women or just unambiguous dark-skinned women competing with them, and that they're not competing with us, when their entire sector is evidence that they are competing with us. So they're trying to hide that when it's very evident. It's very obvious. But I say covert competition because they're trying to hide it. And for some of you, you actually believe it. And then they'll say, oh, well, we did it because you did. Okay, regardless of why you created the sector, you still did it to compete with us. So yes, you are competitive. Just own it and stop trying to pretend that you're not competing, because it's obvious to everyone that is able to think critically that you're competing with us. Like, you're not fooling anybody. D'Ambrosia says, I came across a Psychotical vid and she said something like, it's our time to speak. Dark-skinned women had theirs for a decade and we supported in silence. Girl, as if they didn't participate in the loud-ass colorism that was going on before we came on. Why are we acting like we never had them conversations? Oh, we have to, what about light-skinned women too? We have to take their feelings into consideration too. You pulled their hair, you cut their hair off, you cut their face. You have to take some accountability too. We've always had those conversations. When have they never had a moment to speak? Like, why are y'all lying? This stuff can be easily disproven. I mean, you could look at that old ass Oprah special, Oprah and Iyanla special. I think, did that happen before I came online? The light-skinned woman was in the room. She spoke. On Tyra Banks, the light-skinned woman were on her stage, gave their experience. When have you never not had a voice? Oh, thank you, D'Ambrosia, for the super chat, by the way. Right. And then want to say we have a victim mentality. Child, please. And that's another thing they lie about. Y'all have a victim mentality. If what we're doing is victimization and we have a victim mentality, then you're doing the same thing. Cause that what about me ism? What about we're victims too? That's pretty much what you're saying, but you're not saying it. So it's like, stop playing these games, y'all. They gonna keep playing the games. I just want to come on here and tell you what it is so you know what you're looking at. Something else they have are a lot of double standards, okay? One in particular that I want to highlight is they like to call dark-skinned women quote unquote masculine for exhibiting behavior that they exhibit as well. When we respond to colorism or have colorism platforms, we're supposedly these, angry SJWs that are always in fight mode. We're always mad. But then by default, that would mean the same thing for you and your platforms. Most of the channels are videos arguing with us and attempting to debunk our talking points and talking about how you're so much prettier than us and we bullied you because you're pretty. Again, victim mindset. Oh, we're so pretty and that's why they hate us and that's why oh my god, we just threaten everybody and they hate us and they pick on us and because we're just so beautiful. I don't know what to do. It's just so sad. I mean, and they cut my face and they cut my hair in elementary school as if all dark skinned little girls were cutting the faces of light skinned women. So, if we're victims, then what you're doing is victim mentality as well. If you mirror channels for dark skinned women and you now have a movement for exoticals or quote unquote pretty girls, that's political. You're politicizing your group. So if we're angry SJWs for dark skinned women, then you are that to the exoticals. If our channels are quote unquote negative, then yours are too. You're a carbon copy of ours, just in reverse. Most of your channels do not look positive or carefree. You care a lot, and everybody can see it. And see, this is why I keep telling dark skinned women stop being afraid of being hypocritical and having double standards because everybody is going to use those double standards to go against you. Everybody's going to use them. Khadijah, thank you for your super chat. She says, remember they hijacked the 4C movement, child, please. Yeah, but we helped give it to them, though. And see, that's on us. And see, this is what I'm saying. Don't let this happen again. Don't let this happen again. Because dark-skinned women, y'all are too nice. Because sometimes I'll see y'all over there and and I'm a monoracial, unambiguous black woman, and I just came over here to hear the other side. I just wanted to hear I feel like everybody should have a voice, and I just wanted to hear the other side, and I support you, and yeah, that's what we do. Meanwhile, they talking cash shit about your ass in them videos, and you under there looking slow. What is going on? I hate with y'all. But see, that's how y'all allow them to take over. And see, the reason why they're mad at me is because I hip y'all the game when it comes to stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, they need the views, y'all. They need us to be over there. Shanna says, remember when Dark Girls documentary came out by Bill Duke? Remember they made him make a Light Girls? Yeah, that's why he made us another one, because the light-skinned women came online with their victim mentality. Oh, but what about white girls? And what about us? And we get bullied too. And on the documentary, since we're victims, I mean, we can't apply that same logic to them. They were on the documentary. Oh, and we get the most abused because we're the pretty girls and because we're light skinned. We get targeted the most. We're victims too. I mean, that's what it is. Is it not? Whole bunch of double standards. That's why you shouldn't give a fuck about using yours or having yours. There's also a lot of innuendo and reverse psychology, and this is something they do quite often. Um, in my last live stream, I brought up how they intentionally use certain photos of dark skinned women on their thumbnails to mock the looks of unambiguous dark skinned women. And after I called out how one Exotical was laughing at the looks of one of those women in her video, they're now trying to flip it and say, oh, well, nothing bad was said about those women. She just laughed at the picture. That's innuendo. Trying to act like you didn't imply something that you meant. Oh, well, those pics, they're just being used to represent unambiguous black women. You're projecting because you think those women are ugly. You're projecting because you think fat women are ugly. You're projecting because you think big noses on dark-skinned women are ugly. It's classic reverse psychology, y'all. Like, if y'all don't see what this is, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. So the innuendo is them implying or suggesting that certain women are unattractive or unappealing without actually saying that, and using reverse psychology and accusing you of thinking these women are ugly when it was them who used the photos to imply that. And mind you, the woman I played yesterday on the or the day before yesterday on the live stream, she actually said in her video, she was like, yeah, and because you're ugly and you're mad because we look better than you. She actually said it. She didn't imply anything. And look, I would respect these women more if they were just honest about their intentions. Like, I actually respect the overt colorists. I actually respect those women who just say, look, you're ugly and we look better than you. I respect them a little bit more than these women on here playing games and manipulating. Because they're straight up about how they feel. It's the ones who lie about what they're doing that annoy me because they're being disingenuous. Yeah. Oh yeah, I know there's unattractive women in all shades. Yeah, I never said that there wasn't. Not a PowerPoint. This is just a slide of photos I found on Google. This is definitely not a PowerPoint. This took me like 5 minutes to pull up. Rahi, is it Raji or Rahi? Sorry, I know I probably butchered that. Something I've noticed with them is that when a biracial or light-skinned woman is considered unattractive, i.e. Ice Spice, it's anti-blackness. But when it's a dark-skinned woman, she's just unattractive. Ooh, good point. Good point. That's a good one. Very true. Very, very true. That's the one right there. Good job. Good job. Because I didn't even, that didn't even cross my mind. So thanks for bringing that up. They do that all the time. Mm-hmm. Got some smart supporters over here. See, we're actually smart. We pick up on what they're doing. And another way they use reverse psychology, they accuse other or they accuse unambiguous dark skinned women of doing things that they do themselves. Uh Again, we talked about the whole victim mentality thing when their whole entire channels are centered around being the victims of us, of unambiguous dark skinned women, and feeling excluded by our online spaces. That's what their whole sector is about. And when you think about it, their victim mentality, I mean, it created the entire sector on YouTube when you think about it. But they also accuse me and other dark skinned women. I heard one of them say that, oh, you have no emotional control. but they don't have emotional control themselves. One particular person, an Exotical, she has an entire channel that's basically an emotional reaction to mine. And it shows with how much she makes her content specifically about me. Not only is she emotionally unstable, but she appears to be damaged and mentally ill. And that's why it's hilarious to hear her say that I need to change the strategy for my channel, because what I've been doing for the last 9 years, apparently it worked, because I created, or I helped create, or I should say I inspired an entire sector of colorists that hate that I taught dark-skinned women to put themselves on a pedestal. By the looks of things, I actually did something right. What y'all think? Because y'all are fighting for your lives, baby. You are fighting for your lives, trying to get back on the pedestal that you think I took from you. Poor babies. My one channel started a whole sector of colorist crybabies who are crying about being excluded from an online space for dark-skinned women. So, when I said that, dark-skinned women, we're still stuck at step one, I still think we're a little bit further behind than we should be, but I have to retract my statement on that. I don't think we're at step one at all, because you don't get the reaction I'm getting from colorists without being effective. You get this kind of reaction when dark-skinned women get some confidence and get some self-esteem and stop putting Exoticals on a pedestal and play the game like they do and everybody else does. And that is what I taught dark-skinned women to do. And that is why you guys are mad. That is why this whole sector exists. So I would have to say I did something right. Khadijah says they're just like their mama, Becky, microaggressive as fuck. Not all of them have Becky mamas. And we're going to get to that in a minute, because we're going to talk about that. Yeah, that's why I say, ladies, you are so powerful. You are so much more powerful than you realize. And sometimes I think I'm like, dang. Because for real, though, I don't consider myself a big YouTuber. I don't have like 1 million subscribers. So for me to start this entire sector, dang. That's powerful. That's pretty powerful. So yeah, apparently we got further along than I thought. So now I got to show y'all. I got to, take it a step further and show you how to navigate the colorist bullies, like the Exoticals, who want to harass you for putting yourself first. Or they want to try to convert you back to worshiping them in this weird reverse psychology kind of way. It's so weird what they're doing. Now, the reverse psychology also shows up when they accuse me of being quote unquote scared to put my old videos back up. And they want to do this so they can basically pressure me to release those videos again so they can copy them. So they're not fooling me with that either. That is another manipulation tactic, another reverse psychology tactic. Trying to taunt me to put my videos back up. It's not going to work. Sorry. Not going to work. And outside of their reverse psychology, they also just flat out lie about stuff. They flat out lie about things that can easily be disproven to manipulate their audience. And like I've said before, when you have to lie to win the argument, that means you've lost the argument. For example, I told y'all before that there's an Exotical who is paying for my memberships to actually to I guess copy my videos and spy. She actually admitted to doing this. And so she went and told her followers, oh, well, if you wanted me gone, you could just remove me. But not only is she not a member under her actual channel name, so I wouldn't even know who to remove, but there's also no way to actually remove people from being members from your YouTube memberships. And I hate that about YouTube memberships. And see, she knows that, but she lied about that to manipulate her audience and make it seem like I'm knowingly allowing her to be on my membership just to get the money. And she's doing that to deflect from being weird for joining in the first place. But see, this is how immature some of these exoticals are. They just lie about silly stuff like that. And they do that because they want to win the argument. It's just beyond desperate. Oh, what's up, beautiful brown baby doll? Dr. Nina in the house. Shout out to Dr. Nina. Go follow her channel. She says, you've done it very right and your message is heard and internalized. Hashtag powerful. Thank you. That means so much coming from Dr. Nina. Shout out to Dr. Nina. Baby, I'm one of your day ones. I've been watching her channel forever, since way before I even got on YouTube. She has great videos, y'all. Check her out. And JQ says, them saying it's anti-blackness when they are called ugly is anti-blackness because they're assuming the ugliness is from their black side. Ooh, y'all getting deep. Hello? That is good. That is good. Yeah, because sometimes, when it comes to unattractiveness, when it comes to mixed race people, we not just saying it or because you're black side. Sometimes it ain't them black features. And I've said this before that, I feel like mixed race people who are attractive, the people who are mixed with black, I think it's because they're blackness, in my opinion. But I just think black people are attractive, so maybe I'm biased. But every group of people thinks their group is the most attractive, so I don't feel bad for saying that. And I feel like maybe white people will think that about themselves as well. But like, you think about like white and Asian and black and Asian. I think the black and Asian mix looks better to me. To me. When they're attractive. But yeah, just assuming that we're talking about the black side. I mean, sometimes your features just don't go together good. I mean, and that applies to anybody. Like you always say, well, not everybody's attractive. That applies to you too. Sometimes the symmetry in the face is just not where it should be. I mean, that applies to everybody. If you can say that about us, we can say that about you. Because really, to me, it's not about features, it's about the symmetry. Yeah. So, something else that they continue to do is they keep trying to get unambiguous dark skinned women to accept promotion that they do not accept for themselves. And I brought this up in my live stream when I talk about the manipulations used against dark skinned women. Again, you need to go watch that. That should be required listening to every dark skinned woman. But a recent example is a video an Exotical made about unambiguous dark skinned women, quote unquote, masculinizing dark skinned women with short hair. And they accused me and other dark skinned women on YouTube of masculinizing Lashana Lynch in 007 because we said that we wanted her to be just as feminine as the Bond women in the past films and also just as feminine as these two women in the photo next to her. Right? We said we wanted her to be shown in a more traditionally feminine light next to the other women who were also traditionally feminine. They're in dresses, she's in her suit or whatever, her combat outfit, whatever. And I know she was Bond, she was 007, so I get it, right? But in the video, they intentionally left out this picture that I'm showing right now that was used for the film where they clearly masculinized Lashana Lynch. This was one of the pictures that went viral. And there was also a picture of racist white people like they put like a suit on Lashana Lynch because they didn't want her to play 007. So it was actually more white people masculinizing Lashana than anything. But of course, she does not call out white people. And that brings me to what the super chat in the last live stream that I totally misunderstood. But I noticed that the exoticals, they don't call out, and these are specifically the biracial exoticals. They only want to fixate on their black side. They don't want to call out their non-black side who are excluding them. Right? And this is another example of that. You did a video talking about how we masculinized Lashana when it was mostly white racist people who were masculinizing her. Where is your video on that, since you care so much about it? Since you care so much about dark-skinned women getting attacked, where is your smoke for the people who were attacking Lashana the most? Where's your smoke for them? Oh no, you don't have any because you want to chastise dark-skinned women. But they intentionally left this photo out, and they try to make it seem like, you know, I was calling her masculine just because she had short hair, and other women were calling her masculine just because she had short hair. When I nor anyone else said that she was masculine on this picture because of her short hair, it was because of the way she was presented and the role as well. But see, the exoticals know that, you guys, and that's why I wanted to do this video. They heard me say that. They heard me and others say that. They completely understand where we're coming from on this. They're just lying and manipulating their audience to make it seem like we're calling Lashana masculine for not having long hair. That's the narrative that she wants to create. And this is what manipulators do. They lie, they leave out information to support whatever false narrative that they're attempting to create. And so now they're trying to push the narrative that dark-skinned women only want to see perfect representation of ourselves with long hair, without flaws, when most black women have been accepting that kind of representation for dark-skinned women for years, and we still do. We accept several dark-skinned women with short hair. We accept several roles that are not particularly flattering of dark-skinned women. Look at how many black feminists in particular defend Sukihana and Sexy Red. Look how much we promote dysfunction in general in the black community. Baby mamahood, ratchetry. When have dark-skinned women and black women ever not supported their non-perfect, flawed promotion? We've been supporting that. But now that we want more positive, more feminine, less flawed promotion, now we're quote unquote obsessed with being portrayed as perfect, and we're limiting our representation. No, let me tell you what the real tea is. The real tea is that you, exoticals, you don't want us to have better promotion because you want that kind of promotion exclusively for yourselves. And this is what dark-skinned women need to understand. You need to understand the game that's being played on you. Because if we get better representation, they have nothing to mock. They have nothing to make fun of. They can't make money off of you in their videos. If you, unambiguous dark-skinned women, stop accepting bad promotion, they don't have content. They have to share the spotlight. They have to share the pedestal because we are a threat in a traditionally feminine light when we are in our traditional feminine light or energy. Because ain't no way you're going to get up and come up on here and act like most dark-skinned women are like us and want to see more feminine. We got attacked. I got attacked for my dark-skinned femininity series. So much that I had to put it behind the paywall. From other black women who were, why do you want dark-skinned women to be feminine all the time? And when I never said that. We said we wanted more balance. That has been the conversation this whole time. And the exoticals, what they're trying to do is come on here and misconstrue everything we say and flip the narrative. So when you see them do that, when you see them make videos like that, just know that this is what they're trying to do. And see, this is nothing more than them competing with you and trying to control you, ladies. And like I said, They don't have the final say when it comes to deciding what promotion is good enough for unambiguous dark-skinned women. We do. We have the final say. And that's why you're mad. You have no say in this. Just like we have no say in how you want your image to be promoted. You don't run shit over here, baby. And like I said before, non-black women and mixed women, including exoticals on this platform, they don't typically use masculine photos of women who look like themselves. How many times do you see them use a picture of a mixed woman who looks like Lashana does in this picture? How, seriously speaking, y'all, how many times do you see them use pictures like that? Let's keep it all the way 100. Y'all don't normally use photos of mixed women who have short hair. And of course, you know, in your video about me, you want to conveniently show a mixed woman with short hair or in a suit to pretend that you always promote your women that way, or your phenotype that way. When in most of your videos, you don't do that, nor do the other exoticals on this platform. On most of your pages, you promote highly glammed up, feminine, exotical women with long hair, light eyes, makeup, whether they are real or AI. So, you know, using those mixed masculine women in that particular video that one time, that was another form of them attempting to manipulate their audience. So you need to see things for what they are coming from these chicks. And I also noticed that the exoticals accuse us of wanting to see dark-skinned women in lace fronts. And what they're doing here is intentionally conflating the dark-skinned women who prefer to see black women in weave with dark-skinned women such as myself who have channels that center dark-skinned women with natural hair. And they do that to confuse their audience. Again, they are fully aware that we actually promote dark-skinned women with natural hair. But because we promote dark-skinned women with long natural hair, it makes them uncomfortable. Ask yourself why that is, ladies. Tell me why you think they get mad when we promote dark-skinned women with long hair. Tell me why you think that. In which I'm never going to stop doing that because black women have long hair. Like, we are fully capable of growing long hair. So I have long hair. I'm going to promote women who look like me. I don't know what you want me to do about that. I can't help that I don't have short hair and I want to promote women who look like me who also have long hair. That's a good point. I don't ever see them promote Hazel Lee. That's a good point. I hardly ever see them. I don't think I've ever seen an exotical channel to promote Tiny Harris. Right. And my corrective promotion series got all kind of dark skinned women with short hair. Yep. Natalie Nunn. I don't see her on the pictures. Mm-hmm. But to answer the question, they know society values long hair on women. And dark-skinned women having long hair makes us more attractive in the eyes of other people. And it creates more competition for women who look like them. This is a competition thing. They're not going to admit to what I just said, but that is what they're doing, y'all. They want us to keep embracing weave that matches their hair texture. They want us to keep embracing wearing no makeup or only promote dark-skinned women with short hair so they can either feel prettier than us or pick on us. It's one of those two things. Because they don't give a shit about us not promoting dark-skinned women with short. They don't care about that. So they have to be doing it for other reasons. And those are the two reasons, in my opinion. They enjoy weaponizing the insecurities of black women to make themselves feel better. That is what this is about. They won't admit it, but this is what's going on. So you need to know what you're looking at, ladies. Yeah, and I never saw this movie, but are you going to tell me that they didn't make her look masculine in this movie? Am I supposed to lie about that just because she's dark-skinned? Now, you can't deny that the woman is absolutely beautiful. I mean, the face card is just giving. And like I said before, baby, any woman that's going to have short hair, it needs to be a black woman. We look the best in short hair, in my opinion. So it's definitely not the short hair or the face. It's the role. I mean, come on, y'all. I'm not saying that she looked like this throughout the whole movie. But when you look at the past Bond girls, they were not given this. They were not. I didn't see the movie, so. Oh, yeah, she's beautiful. And that's the thing. I promoted Lashana Lynch in one of my corrective promotion videos. So we're not gonna see her act like I just don't like the way she looks. Like, and so these exoticals, they just be lying, y'all. It's just, yeah, Lashana's beautiful. I just don't like this role. We want more balance. And again, this is not to say that those roles should not exist. Yeah, dark skinned women should be able to play whatever roles they fucking want to play. And we should be able to be multifaceted and do whatever. We just want more balance. We're tired of seeing either, the strong super warrior black women, 007, mammies, side chicks. We want other promotion. That's all. We're not saying this shouldn't exist. And see, the exoticals know this, but they're conveniently leaving this part out because they want to paint a narrative to their audience. And I'm not saying all of this for them. I'm saying this for the women who watch them and who have found their way over here, so you can see through their manipulation. Specifically the unambiguous dark-skinned women who have found me from them, because I know I'm being recommended under their videos. Now, something else I've noticed is that their platforms don't actually center exoticals, right? There's supposed to be this empowering space for exoticals, which are light-skinned and mixed race women for the most part, or black women who benefit from some sort of ism, right? But if their platforms are actually for those women, why are dark-skinned channels, why am I the primary focus instead of actual exoticals? And see, this is what leads me to believe they have false motives. Because does that make sense to y'all? Because listen, you know who my platform is for. I took a bunch of videos down and was still left with hundreds of videos that were not about mixed women, not about non-black women, that were actually centering the dark-skinned woman's plight. So it's clear who my channel is actually for. Can you say the same for them? Because there's a lot of focus on us. So I don't think their channels are actually intended to help mixed. Well, I do think they're intended to help them, but I don't think it's really focused on their plight like that. I don't. I think they were made primarily to rival channels like mine and reverse the progress that we've made. I think that's the primary motive for their channels, and they're lying about it. This is not just, it's our turn to speak and we want to, have a place in the conversation and we just want our voices to be heard. No, you're intentionally lying and manipulating and trying to reverse what was done. You're not trying to just add to the conversation. You're lying at this point. Another way they manipulate their audience is they pretend to be neutral. They like to pretend that they're fair and balanced when they're actually pro-exotical. And some of them, they admit that they're pro-exotical. But some of them, I noticed in one of the responses to me, she pretended to be neutral. And now that I've done a video clapping back at exoticals, now it's all of a sudden it's so serious, right? Now all of a sudden, both sides are bad and this is so divisive and oh my god, we hate the drama and this is just like, why can't we just get along and why shouldn't we be able to come together and have a conversation? I mean, what is all of this animosity? It's just like, this is just so unfortunate. I hate this. I hate it about this. That is always the response when I clap back. But it was all fun and games when I was getting dragged. Remember? It was all fun and games when my head was on the chopping block. Oh, it's not funny anymore now, huh? Now that the cancer comes in and pinches with my claws, then all of a sudden everybody's hurt. Everybody's feelings are hurt. Why does that always happen when I clap back? Have y'all noticed that? All of a sudden it gets super serious when I say something back. Oh my god, this is just so like I just hate the divisiveness. It's been divided. What are you talking about? And they do this with colorism too. Colorism existed before I came online. It was divided before I came online. The colorism and division was there. That is why I'm here. So let's not pretend that you all just wanted unity this whole time, because you didn't, and you never did. And most of you've made it clear that you really don't care about our plight like that. So why am I being asked to empathize with you? I'm not going to care about you any more than you care about me and the women over here. Y'all know it's true. Yeah, you can send super chats. A lot of people are sending super chats. Yeah, KP says playing the victim when they started the fire. Exactly. D'Ambrosia says they feelings get hurt quick when dark skinned women clap back. Sob articles. The names are killing me. I can't. Hystericals. Histrionicals. That's a good one. Oh my god. So they also, one of them, she responded to me, and I noticed that with them, they're very intellectually dishonest. And one in particular, she lied about the Exoticals attacking me personally. And she was like, oh, well, Chrissy lost the debate because she got personal. But they're over there taking shots at me all the time. And they've been doing it for years. They take shots at my past relationships, what they think I look like. They repeatedly discuss what they think I look like in the comment section. So they have been taking shots at me personally for years. So I guess they lost the debate a long time ago, right? According to your logic. Like, do you see how easy it is to destroy all of their talking points? Like, I swear, they're lucky I don't do this on a regular basis. They lucky I don't do this on a regular basis. Now, something else they lie about is they pretend to support unambiguous dark-skinned women who swirl when they actually don't. They claim to not care about us swirling because it's going to produce more mixed race people that look like them. But their actions actually show the complete opposite. Their actions show that they don't actually support those of us who interracially date. And again, lying about little silly stuff like they didn't know that I date interracially. And you still date black men? How are you? Okay, I haven't dated a black man in a very long time. But whatever. You can keep pushing that. I really don't care who you think I date. But either way it goes. Y'all frequently take shots at black women in interracial relationships, which proves that you actually are bothered by us swirling. You are. And I won't repeat everything I said in my live stream about, the manipulation tactics, but personally, I think it's partially because they have black fathers. And like black men, they prefer to see black women with black men. And they prefer to see black men with a non-black woman rather than the reverse. Because that is the union from which they were produced. So I think in a self-preservation way, they're protecting themselves and their family. And one of the Exotical, biracial, she got mad because I said that mixed women with black fathers seem to have more vitriol for black women, but that has been my experience online. At least online, that seems to be true. That has been my experience online for the last several years. The biracials with the black moms have been the most supportive of my platform. And y'all have seen them in the comment section. Like, yeah, my dad is white. My mom is Nigerian or something like that. I just got a comment like that recently. They have been the most supportive of me and my platform and black women in general. And I really do think it's because they see their mother in the women that I talk about, in the women that I promote. It's a self-preservation thing. Tiana says their marketing schemes are so old. When views are down, psychoticals go after dark-skinned black men just like everyone else. It's calculated controversy. Yeah. That's another thing. They pretend that none of them talk about black men when they actually do. Yeah, no name dropping or you won't get blocked. Y'all know I'm Blockiana. Yeah. So, and I know they'll come back and be like, well, you have black women have black fathers. That's true. It's also true that black women who have black fathers have been problematic as well. And guess what? They get called out over here all the time. We always call out other black women for being black male identified. We mostly call out black women who are that way. We don't even say that about biracials like that for the most part. It's mostly black women who we talk about when we say that. So the exoticals, again, your victim mentality is showing like, girl, when we talk about black male identified women and mammies, it's mostly about black women. It ain't even about you. Damn. Y'all act like we get on here and talk about y'all all the time. We don't. And see, like I said, I really think these women, what they really wanted me to do was skip over criticizing them the same way black men wanted me to do. They wanted me to skip over criticizing black men, but that's not how this works. Everybody, colorist, gets the smoke. So you're going to have to deal with that. I don't know what to tell you. And another thing that I hate that they do, they intentionally lie and misrepresent my channel. And I'm not going to keep defending this. I just want to, do this video and get it out there so it will show up in the algorithm under their videos. But this is something that all of my detractors have done when they cannot win the argument. They literally start pulling things out of thin air when it comes to my platform. And they're trying to turn my followers against me, but that's not going to happen. And then one of them was like, "Oh, well, you're keeping tabs on that lady who's stalking you. So doesn't that make you a stalker too?" Does that even fucking make any kind of sense? Keeping tabs on someone who's harassing you is not quote unquote stalking back. That is collecting information on somebody who is harassing you. Look, I know the exoticals. Listen to hear what I'm saying. I know y'all are desperate to win the argument, but you gotta come with some responses that actually make sense, love. You gotta come with some stuff that makes sense. That's like me telling you because you gather information on a man that's stalking you as an exotical that you're stalking him back. What? Huh? And then one of them was like, "Oh, well, Chrissy's mad because she no longer has the upper hand." No, I'm mad because of the stalking and the harassment. Okay, my views are going down. Okay, I'm falling off. Okay, fine. That's all well and good. We can't be popular forever. I didn't come on here on YouTube thinking I would always get hundreds of thousands of views. So that doesn't bother me. I don't give a shit about no longer having the upper hand. And why are they acting like YouTube is the entire world? I'm not a famous YouTuber. And the community as a whole, they're still very much so colorist. All I did over here was I gave dark skinned women more of a voice. That does not mean that we now have the quote unquote upper hand. That just means that we don't allow colorism against dark skinned women to go unchecked anymore. Because before I came along, colorism was going unchecked. So the colorist had the upper hand. And now it's just a little bit more even. So the problem with that is what exactly? What's the problem? How does one channel or one space for dark-skinned women cause all of this commotion? And like I said, what these women really seem to be saying, in my opinion, is that they wanted the colorism conversation against dark-skinned women to go unchecked. They wanted the colorism to go unchecked so they could continue to be colorist in peace and continue to be the beneficiaries of colorism in peace. I really think that's what this is all about. And to address the whole compliment thing, because, you know, I didn't address that in the last one. They're like, Chrissy told dark-skinned women not to give light-skinned women compliments. I specifically remember saying to dark-skinned women not to give out compliments freely because most people are colorist towards dark-skinned women, and I stand by that. Why is this popping up? Can y'all hear me still? My computer's doing something weird. And so I don't know if y'all want me to back down from that, but for that does not, like, I'm not going to change how I feel about that. I do think black women give out their compliments too freely, especially like I did a video on that woman showing her long hair, that Indian woman showing her long hair on TikTok, and dark-skinned women were under there, oh my God, this is the hair that we want to have, and we love your hair, we love your hair. When that same group of people be calling you all kind of racist names. So yeah, don't give out compliments. What do you want me to say? You want me to take that back? You should not be doing that. This is not me saying that you see a random nice mixed woman in the store and y'all start talking and you don't give her a compliment. Of course, that's not what I'm saying. I saw a woman in Whole Foods the other day, light-skinned woman, mixed woman. She was very nice. We complimented each other on our hair. Natural hair. I love natural hair in any type. So that's not what I'm talking about when I say that. But do you see how they try to flip things and make it something that is not, as if I'm saying just be a mean girl and never compliment pretty women? Do you see how they're doing that? It's very, very manipulative what they're doing. And this needs to be called out, y'all. And you need to know what you're looking at when you see it. And for the people who, you know, stand in their dark femininity and stand by not being politically correct and laugh at murderous black men online and thinking that's satire and thinking it's funny, why would you be upset about the strategy behind me saying that dark-skinned women need to not compliment as much as they do? Why would you be mad at that? Miss Dark Femininity, Miss Not Politically Correct. And then I heard one response, and this lady was like, oh, well, you call exoticals psychoticals and you call them crazy because you can't call them ugly. I know I shouldn't even justify this with a response, but look, I promise you, y'all are not that important to me. I didn't call y'all crazy to avoid attacking you physically. I call you crazy because some of you are acting crazy and I don't even know what you look like. So why would I attack your looks? Most of your channels are faceless. Like, these women are so delusional that they think because, I guess they think because all the exoticals are just so pretty and so beautiful. Which nobody actually knows if all of you are beautiful. We don't actually know that. But I guess in their minds, they think they're all just so pretty. So they feel like I think that too. And because I think that, I couldn't call them ugly. So I just called them crazy. Oh my God. Like, the delusion, baby. The self-aggrandizing they're doing over there is off the chain. It's next level. It's next level. Because we know all y'all don't look like them pictures that you use. We know that already. So why would I stop try not to call. Like, that just didn't. When I heard that, I was like, excuse me, what? Huh? It's like they don't think any of them can actually be crazy. Delusional. They are delusional. So yeah, that's my last slide. Now I'm gonna say this. I listened to a video from one of my detractors, and she's basically trying to disassociate herself from the Exotical label. So some of you Exoticals in this sector, you're already like, I don't think you're aware that you're tainting your sector with the shenanigans. You got people already trying to disassociate from your label because of the beef. Not only with me, but other Exoticals. And that's another thing. They pretend that they don't have drama in that sector when they've been beefing with each other for years. When y'all were the Golden Sphere, y'all was beefing all the time. And now all of a sudden it's, oh, we just all get along, and we're not like that sector over there. We're actually friends. We're actually cool. And, okay, whatever. Y'all beef just like everybody else. D'Ambrosia says they're all pretty, but dark skinned black women are pretty or ugly. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I guess their logic is, I think for the most part, and I actually heard somebody say this on one of their channels. Channels like mine are for ugly women, basically ugly black women, and their channels are for the pretty women that benefit from all the isms. That's what they say. I don't even remember how I said that, honey flower. I don't even remember. But yeah, you're not going to find a space on the internet that doesn't have beef. That's just not a thing. So you need to stop pretending that you're above it. You're above all the drama, because eventually, when you have enough people in the space, you're going to disagree, you're going to beef. And that's how it is. That's how humans are. We argue, we beef. It doesn't matter what sector it is. And so that's just my whole point of this stream. Like the things that they're lying about, it's just dumb. And they're trying to manipulate everybody and make it seem like they're like just so much better than everybody else when they do the same exact shit. And I want to tell you ladies, especially, and I'm going to say this and then I'm going to go. But I especially want to tell the dark-skinned women who have channels, don't make the mistake that some of these exoticals are making, because beefing does not grow a channel. And I want you guys to listen to me carefully when I say this. Beefing does not grow a channel. Most content creators know that beefing in every video and constantly picking fights with other content creators, it actually makes a channel grow stagnant, or it makes it grow slower. And this is why I don't make that's not the only reason I don't make a habit of this, but that is one big reason I don't always respond to stuff, because it does slow your channel down and it does affect your views. Like every time I do a beef video, my subscriber count goes down. And so, I mean, obviously, if you're a beef sector, it may grow your channel a little bit, just a little bit. But once that beef dies down, it's just going to go back to being stagnant. And see, this is why some of the exoticals had to buy subscribers, and they can't even manage to make it to 50,000 subscribers, despite being on YouTube for several years. And they're trying to tell me how to do my channel. That's what's so funny. Maybe you need to change the strategy of your channel. Ma'am, you had to buy subscribers. How you gonna tell me what to do? But, I'm for the dark skinned women who have channels, the primary way to use bigger channels for clout is to try to collaborate with them, not beef with them. Because eventually the subscribers get tired of it and they stop listening, or their channel just slows down. And some of the women in BWE or Black Woman Empowerment, they've learned this the hard way. Always trying to beef with me, it's going to slow your channel down. And this is why I don't make what I'm doing right now a habit. I just kind of make a couple videos and I move on. And I'm not saying I'll never address this again, but it'll probably be, a good amount of time in between. And I got some new videos coming out this week. If not 2, then definitely a short, because I'm working on a short right now. I was professionally advised to do shorts on my channel, and baby, when I tell you I'm struggling for my life, trying to make these voiceovers in 60 seconds is crazy. But I have one of those coming up. So yeah, this is not going to be a regular thing, but I just wanted to do this last video to show up in their algorithm, because when I saw that they were coming over, and I saw that, you know, a couple dark-skinned women were like, yeah, I found you through the Exoticals. I was like, oh, okay, wait. Well, then, since you're here, I need to seize the moment and let you know the scoop on these Exoticals and really break down their manipulation. So I hope you learned something in this video. So now when you see their videos, they may try to, you know, switch up their strategy a little bit now that I called it out. But for the most part, you're going to see one or multiple tactics that I went over in this live stream in all of their videos. And if I missed anything, you guys put it in the comments. Make sure you add it. If I missed any, you know, manipulation tactics or gaslighting tactics, definitely put them in the comments. And again, I may come back and do one of these as a refresher in the future if needed. We'll see. But we're going to start focusing on other content. I had to get this out of the way. So when they respond to me, if you listen to the video, come back to this one and see how many manipulation tactics you can find in the video response they do to me. And count and see how many you can find. Because I guarantee you at least one of them will be in there. So that's it. More content coming for y'all this week. So look out for that. New members patron video coming up very soon. Let me know what you think about this down in the comments. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And I will catch up with you in the next one. To see my exclusive content, become a member of this channel, join my Patreon, or visit chrissyonline.com. And be sure to join the mailing list for updates on future videos. The links are in the description box. Please like, share, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.